Hey guys, Stowing7 here, and today Fortnite got another update. I'm going to do a video here going over all the patch notes, just the most important things, things that I think will improve the game the best. I'm going to go over all of it, but I'm going to kind of give my opinion on these changes as well. One of the first things, by the way, is that they mentioned that the Game Awards, which is, depending on when you're watching this, I'm not sure when I'm going to upload it. Hopefully I'll upload this before this happens, but if you're watching the Game Awards, today, December 7th, Thursday, December 7th, at 7 o'clock PST, which for my time zone, Central, that's going to be 9 o'clock. Eastern will be 10 o'clock, Mountain Time be 8 o'clock. If you're watching that, they're going to have details on a new limited time mode. I have no idea what that's going to be or what that's all about, so if you want to watch the reveal, watch that, or I'm sure there'll be posts about it like right afterwards, and you'll probably see it somewhere. So, one of the biggest things that they're adding, though, is some new UI for the inventory. Now that's pretty cool. I'm actually looking forward to that because it looks a lot more organized, and that's actually one of those little things that I think that the game could have improved on that I didn't really think of before. I was thinking of some other, I would argue, more important things, but this inventory change it looks pretty nice, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Also, for Xbox One players like myself, they're going to have new free playable heroes, which is celebrating the launch of the Xbox One X. So Xbox One heroes are going to be coming out just exclusive to the Xbox One, and PlayStation has the same thing, I believe. Not the exact same characters, but they have their own set of exclusive heroes, so don't get jealous if you're over there. But anyways, onto the patch notes. So they have listed under gameplay, decreased chance of getting bandages from treasure chests and supply drops by 35%. I'm hoping that means that other stuff like shield potions and med kits will consequently be more. You'll have a higher chance of getting those now because of the fact that the bandages, you're going to have a lower chance of that, so hopefully that'll increase the chances of getting the med kits and the shield potions. I hope that's what they're going for with that change, because that's actually, I haven't even released the video yet, but I made a video going over the things that I don't like about Fortnite, and that was actually one of the changes that I suggested, so I'm definitely looking forward to that, seeing how much that actually affects the gameplay. Another thing is they reduced the aim assist on controllers, which is definitely necessary. Aim assist, it needed some fixing, especially with sniper rifles in particular. Sniper rifle aim assist kind of ruined snipers, whereas with other guns it wasn't too bad, but with snipers it was really bad. And as they also put a note that it should make it easier to lead targets with sniper rifles, and that's that's what I figured that they were going for, because that's the biggest issue that I think I had with aim assist on a particular weapon, was definitely the sniper rifles. They also say the updated aim assist system allows us to iterate easily. Let us know how you think we can improve aim assist. So I believe what they're saying with that is that this new system, it's going to be easier to update, easier to tune with, I guess. So if there's any more problems with it, I haven't tried the update yet. My game's actually updating right now, so if there's any more problems with aim assist, that they can actually update that quite easily now. So I'll just have to play around with that, see how it is, because aim assist definitely did need some tweaking. I'm not sure how well they tweaked it, so I'll find out when I get on next. Then they go into bug fixes. I'm just going to go through these pretty quickly. So the first two bug fixes basically improves the look of the game. It makes it so that the one thing with people, like, you'll see people run through a closed door. That shouldn't happen as often now. And then with chests, it says improved network priority for chests as well, which reduces the likelihood of them appearing to remain closed for a short time after opening them. I know what they're talking about with that. That would get kind of confusing sometimes, so I think that's a good bug fix. Players no longer fall through the world if they're eliminated while jumping. That's a nice fix. It's one of those things that doesn't really affect gameplay, but nice fix. Gliders no longer deploy if a player uses a launch pad in the down but not out state. I would say that's definitely a good change. That's a weird thing. I didn't even know that was a thing, but that's a good fix. Basically what that's saying is that when players are knocked out, they're not going to activate a glider when they are knocked out and they hit a launch pad. So that's definitely good. Players will no longer jitter while falling and skydiving. That's good. Dancing no longer goes on cooldown if it fails to play. Sure. Chests and attics no longer will spawn loot on roofs or outside walls. That's definitely a good thing. That always bothered me when loot just goes all over the place, and it just gets kind of annoying. Fixed an issue, especially like chests, or there's an ammo box like underground in this one type of house that the ammo always goes to the next floor. I don't know if they fixed that, but that one kind of pisses me off. Fixed an issue which caused players to sometimes survive fatal fall damage with 1 HP. I am not surprised that this was an issue, because I've had this happen a lot, and it's happened to other people that I've been watching too. I actually won a frickin' squad game because one of my teammates fell, had 1 HP, and ended up killing the guys on the ground that he fell at. And I've clutched some situations like that as well, and it doesn't surprise me. I didn't know for sure that this was a bug, but it doesn't surprise me that it was, because there were so many instances where people were falling from like huge heights, and they'd survive with exactly 1 HP, and it was happening so commonly that I was like, this can't be a coincidence. Like, this is just kind of weird. So I'm glad they fixed that, because I could kind of tell from playing the game that there's definitely something odd going on there. Let's see. Fixed an issue causing teammates' names to jitter. I haven't experienced that, but that's good that they fixed that. Fixed an error message that players would sometimes receive when being invited to a BR match when they hadn't completed the Save the World tutorial mission yet. One of my friends was having that. It was really annoying, so that's a good bug fix. And here, now I'm going to get on to the section that I'm looking forward to, the weapons section. Removed tracers from the silenced SMG. I think that's a good change. I think the silenced SMG needed a little bit more of something to make it useful. I think that might be the change that makes it useful, so maybe it could use more work after that, but I do think this is a good step in the right direction to make the gun a little more unique. Even with the suppressor, this makes it even more unique, more useful. Sniper rifles no longer reload while in scoped view, so I'm guessing that was a bug. I wasn't sure about that, but I guess it was that wasn't intended. So that's a good change, I guess. You know, some people have different opinions on whether you should be able to reload in that state. Like, I know in the Battlefield games, you'd have to equip an attachment to be able to do that. And I don't really remember in BF1 if you need a certain variant to do that. I honestly don't recall, but I know in the previous Battlefield games you'd have to equip an attachment to be allowed to do that, because it's seen as like a huge buff, I guess. To me, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you're good at sniping, this isn't going to affect you too much. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue which prevented grenades from exploding. That's obviously good. Fixed an issue which caused crosshairs to disappear if a sniper rifle was fired right before the battle bus took off. That is a really weird glitch, and I actually think I've had this happen to me before, because I did play a game where I had no crosshairs for the entire game, which is kind of annoying. So that's definitely a good fix. Fixed several issues with the smoke grenade effect, and then they have a couple more bullets. Smoke effects now appear the same in and out of the storm. That's great. Players will no longer see through smoke effects when using a scope from within the smoke. That's a huge fix. Players will no longer experience a flash effect when multiple smoke grenades go off at once, and I would say that's also a huge like exploit fix there. So definitely a lot of good changes so far. I would have liked to see a few more tweaks to weapons, but I think that's a pretty good amount for just this patch. I'm sure there'll be even more changes when the next one comes around. And now we move on to audio. Reduced volume for ambient trap sounds and made them less frequent. I guess it's good. I think they're going even further. It seems that makes it seem like they're going even further to make traps more effective. Added a new warning sound that activates when a player approaches a ceiling or wall trap. This is very interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about this change. This is like the first change when reading these patch notes where I kind of was taken aback, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I guess I gotta play, and I gotta see how close you can get before this warning sound activates. How ridiculous the warning sound is. Like, how annoying is it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is a good thing, because that first note makes it seem like they're trying to make traps more effective, and then the second one kind of nullifies how effective they are. So I guess I got to play around with that, see if that completely removes or completely worsens the effects of traps, because I can't really tell just from reading it. That's one of those things you got to kind of play around with. Teammate footsteps now sound quieter than enemies. This is great because there's so many instances where you're in a house with a teammate and it's early game, so there's people around you and you cannot tell if you're hearing an enemy or a teammate, or sometimes the footsteps get cluttered and you don't know which ones to focus on because they might be close to each other. So this is a good change. If you are spectating a player, their footsteps are quieter. I don't know how I feel about this one, because that might make spectating, like having a friend sound whore for you when you're spectating, that might make that a little OP. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. That's one of those things you just have to play around with. Added different footstep sounds for wood, stone, metal, and dirt/grass surfaces. That's amazing. I really love that. It'll be a lot easier to pinpoint where people are now. It's now easier to hear footsteps through walls. I think that's a good change. Added terminal velocity wind sound when falling from large heights, and an impact/pain sounds for when taking damage from falling. Obviously, that's good. You know, it's really nice to have audio like that in the game. So, good additions there. Increase the audio range from the sniper gunshot from 180 meters to 250 meters. So now you'll be able to hear it from even farther away. So, I don't see any issue with that. Reduced gunshot sound volume for tactical shotguns does not affect audio range. Seems fine with me. Reduced volume of revolver, equip, reload, and fire sounds. I don't know how much of an issue this was previously because I never pick up revolvers, so I guess this is a good change. I don't know. I never really use revolvers that often, so sounds good. Actually, now that I think about it, the revolvers were frickin' loud, so maybe this is a good thing. New sounds for medkit, shield potion, and slurp juice consumables. I gotta play around with those sounds. Don't know how they sound yet, but that is a cool addition. It is now easier to hear the sound of another. Wow, that was worded really weird. Shouldn't it just be of another player, not of and another player? Whatever. It is now easier to hear the sound of another player gliding towards you after using a launch pad. Besides the weird, I don't think that sounds right in the way that they wrote that. But besides that, that change sounds good because there have been some instances with the launch pad where it just seems like almost impossible to pinpoint where someone is after they use it. So I think having some new audio for that will hopefully mitigate that. All audio for the dance emote is now adjusted with the SFX slider instead of music. That's smart. That's a good thing. Wind volume reacts more dynamically while skydiving or using a glider umbrella. That's obviously, stuff like that is just amazing. The sound in this game is honestly one of the best parts of this game. So adding even more cool stuff with the sound like that is really great. Removed low frequency content in the ticking clock sound that plays prior to the storm eye shrinking. These frequencies could have previously been mistaken for footsteps while running, so that sounds like a good change to me because of that, how it could be mistaken. And then you have these performance. I'm just going to put like a screenshot of the performance changes on screen for a little bit because it's a bunch of, it's a bunch of stuff that basically says we're going to make the game run better. So if you actually want to read specifically what they did, you can check out all that stuff. I'll have it on screen for a little bit. Pause the video, whatever. Just have that up, all up there. Alright, so now we move on to the UI. The first thing is really cool. You can now view your personal stats and XP gained at the end of a match or when spectating. That is awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. You can now choose to abandon one of your daily challenges each day. That's interesting. Added net debug stats panel to the Battle Royale UI, and then they got a little thing explaining where it's at. And this setting displays ping, bandwidth, packets per second, and packet loss for uploading and downloading. That's really cool if you're a guy that, especially like a streamer that needs information like that. That's really cool. I might even turn that stuff on. So I think that stuff's pretty cool. The only thing that's unfortunate about it is, as they say at the end, currently that feature's only available on Windows and Mac. But they're hoping to get it on consoles in a future update, which I hope they do, because for streamers, I think those stats could actually be really useful. And this is another PC and Mac change only. Added the option to send a friend invite to squad mates on the spectator and victory screens. That's cool. Added some. That's actually really cool. I hope they get it on consoles soon. Because there are some instances where I wish it was easier to like have almost like an Overwatch feature. You know how in Overwatch, if you guys have played it or seen it before, how when you finish a game, let's say you like the team you played with, you can press the button, and that button allows you to start a party within your team. So your team can also press that button, and then they'll party up with you. I think Halo 3, man, the Halo games got rid of that, didn't they? I think Halo 3 used to have that as well. That's actually where it originated. That's crazy. Why did games get rid of that? That's actually like a really good feature. What the heck? That's cool that Fortnite's starting to integrate it. I hope it comes on consoles as well, because that's a really good feature in Overwatch. And now that I just had that epiphany about Halo 3, that's weird, man. Why'd they get rid of that? So odd. Anyways, added some look and feel polish to the matchmaking buttons. Alright, cool, looks cool. Added a warning message that activates when players attempt to disguise themselves as a bush while already disguised. That's interesting. I want to hear what that sounds like. Replaced the 60-second warm-up timer with waiting for players. Good enough. Increase the size of the large map so it takes up more screen space when open. I mean, I'll have to see what it looks like. I don't know if that's going to be a big change. I'll just see what it looks like. The revive timer now shows the revive progress for both keyboard and controller players, so that's good. Then you got some more bug fixes. I think, again, I'll just put a screenshot of these up on screen so you guys can see that stuff if you want to take a look at it. Then there's some spectating finish. There's one general fix, and it just says fixed a rare crash that could occur when backing out to the main menu. I never experienced that, but the fact that they fixed it is good. And then you have those spectating bug fixes. There's the smoke grenade one that I believe was mentioned earlier. They fixed a bug where teammates could be invisible while spectating them, and scope visuals would no longer be stuck on screen while switching between players in spectate mode. I had a lot of my friends complaining about that, so that's a good fix. And that's it. Rest of the stuff is for Save the World. I just go over the Battle Royale stuff because that's what I play. So far, this looks like a really good update. They fixed a lot of crap. It looks like the performance is going to be better. And there's just a lot of cool changes all around. I'm really excited to get on and play with this update. Also, I didn't see it. Maybe it was somewhere else. Oh, yeah, there's a section that says undocumented changes. And there's also a part where it mentions, for me personally, I'm an Xbox player, and for anybody that's watching this that's an Xbox player, it says that we've been exploring how to reduce the size of patches for Xbox. We found a solution, but that means that this particular update is larger than usual, and I checked, it's about 9.1 gigabytes. So what they're saying here is that, Xbox patches have been pretty big. This next patch is going to be huge on Xbox, but hopefully it will allow the future patches to not be that big. So, man, why couldn't 343 figure this out with Halo 5? I'm hoping that these are facts. I'm hoping that we get this big update here, and that the rest of the updates aren't as big, and that they follow through with that. So I hope that that's actually legit. Because the part about it being a big update, that's legit. I just updated it. It's 9.1 gigabytes on Xbox, so it is a big update. But I'm hoping that they are right and that does fix the size of these updates for the future. Because with how frequently they update this game, if they don't fix the size, then this game could frickin' reach Halo 5 size with how frequently they update this game. So I'm hoping that ends up being legit. Anyways, done with the patch notes here. I'll try to get up a gameplay tomorrow, playing with the new patch. I'm really excited to play with it. Again, I think there's not that many things that I read that I'm actually not looking forward to. Vast majority of it, probably 98, 99% of it, sounds good to me. So really excited for this patch. Let me know what you guys think of the patch if you played it yet, or just what you think just off of listening to it. And see you next time.